Thank you. No, we're good.
We could add a couple.
Maybe not in the front row.
What?
Maybe not.
On the front?
We're good right now. I don't think we can add any more chairs. Sorry.
Oh, no, he already. We can put those here, guys. We can't all your pictures taken.
Yes, so you might.
Per usual, we're giving people a few minutes to trickle in. This is quite the busy meeting, which is awesome. We got some cool updates. We got a presentation about the PRN outdoor space that's pretty cool. I know that there was a certain amount of printed and then I believe a QR code for their deck if you want to get that. If you have not signed in, please do so. We actually do need to vote on something tonight, so if you are not signed in, we won't be able to count the votes properly. Again, if you live in Pleasant Ridge or run a business in Pleasant Ridge, you get a vote. So please sign in. And we'll get started in, let's say, 3 minutes.
Let's just be friends. Isn't that nice? Also, we're live today. Just no, just live mode. We're live. No, that's all. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. Why would you scare me? But it is really cute. Looking at it every time we drive by. It's really cute. You should know themselves. Maybe. Yeah. She'll have a reason because we're friends.
All right, those of you who are coming in, don't feel rushed. Take your time signing in. We will get this meeting rolling. We start all of our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. So please stand with me. Flags over there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Thank you all. Before we get jumping in with our community partners, I did want to quickly start the meeting off with some good news. We've had a great start to 2026, and that doesn't include the snowstorm and the Arctic temperatures that have made life very difficult for a lot of us, especially for those that are depending on sidewalks and whatnot. We hear you loud and clear. But we did in a 36, actually probably only like a 30-hour time frame, Pleasant Ridge was gifted or granted $95,000 worth of funds for specific projects. I'll let the committees who received those gifts give more details, but good things are happening already in 2026 in Pleasant Ridge, and I think it's a good thing to start the meeting off with. So
if anyone wants to match another 5,000 to make it even.
We are a 501c3, and therefore it is tax deductible contribution if you wanted to even it out. So we're going to jump right in. I noticed that we do not have anybody from the fire department, but we do have Officer Martin from the police department here.
Happy New Year, everyone. This is a very packed meeting, and it's very special to see so many people that love their community. I don't get this a lot in other communities. I'm not going to say which ones, but this is really good. So, Happy New Year. I haven't been here since last year, so I hope everybody had a great Christmas, great New Year. As far as the crime, we are down except theft from autos. We had a lot of theft from autos, and a lot of those theft from autos are individuals are leaving key fobs, diamond necklaces on the seats, firearms on the seats, wallets in plain view. We don't want to do that. I know you have an expectation of privacy in your driveway, but unfortunately the criminals don't think you have that expectation. So if you have a Ring camera, motion lights, things of that nature, dogs barking in the middle of the night, that means somebody's out there that shouldn't be. So if you hear or see things like that, call us. It's our job. We will come out. But if you don't call us, we won't know. Because there's a lot of community residents that would not call the police because they didn't think it was a big deal. So we want you to call us because that's how we track the way that these criminals are getting into cars and things of that nature, and stealing cars. So I just want us to be mindful of personal important belongings like social security cards, birth certificates, credit cards, wallets, firearms, diamond jewelry, things of that nature, iPads, iPhones, Androids if you have them, I'm sorry. Those kind of things. Don't leave them in the seat or in plain view because people are going to take them. And that's what happens all the time. They take them and they, like, I don't know why they would do that. That's because they see them and it's not theirs and they want to take it. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. They're going to take it. So other than that, I don't have anything. If you have any questions for me or you want to talk to me in private, always give me a call, email me, and I'm more than happy to help you with whatever it is that you have issues with. Okay, thank you. Unless you have something for me. Yes.
Are you aware of the app titled Street Reach? It's for the homeless people. I just found out about it this past week. And you know, we had that homeless gentleman up in Kennedy Heights that was living at the bus stop for a long period of
I
time.
can't hear you.
Not able to hear you, Carl. Are you able to come forward so we can hear you?
Sure.
There are people watching online, so it's helpful.
Okay.
I'll get to that in a second.
Carl, you with a K or a C?
Carl with the C.
Carl with a C, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I was wondering if you knew of the app titled Street Reach. I just found out about it this past week. It's supposedly an app that you can put on your phone, and it's there to help homeless people. If you see a homeless person in this bus stop day after day, you can use this app and they will send out a social worker to talk to the person. And you might get a better response. We might get a better response out of the social worker than the police officer, because some people see the police officer's uniform as a negative. But it's something anybody in this room supposedly can put on their phone. I haven't gone to the app yet.
I have not. But we actually have partners. When we come out to homeless individuals, we actually partner with our Hamilton County Social Services. So they actually come out for us, with us, and handle those kind of runs. So, I don't know if you understand runs, calls for service, but we do partner with social services with those type of runs. And I'm dressed for outside and I'm really hot, so I'm dressed for inside, so.
One other quick question. Does Cincinnati Police Department respond to auto accidents on private property?
We do not, but if you want an accident report, the best way to get one is going through the, coming to the district, or you can actually make one over the phone, but we don't actually respond unless there is, like, someone's injured or there's major damage, then we may come out, but we don't respond on private property. Okay, I'm hot, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Officer Martin. I do want to note that, and I don't mean this in a lecturing fashion, but just as a reminder for anybody watching, this is probably the 10th meeting in a row that we've heard, don't leave your belongings in plain view within your car. She just mentioned very specifically diamond necklaces. That's just mind-boggling. I leave stuff in my car all the time, but it's like my gym towel and stuff. So if you got stuff in your car, please put it out of view, and also lock your car. Thank you. And don't leave your key fobs. That's probably the 12th meeting in a row that we've heard about people leaving key fobs, and that's how you lose your car. All right, thank you, Officer Martin. And Kendall, it's your turn, sir.
All right, how's everyone doing today?
Great.
Good. So, I don't have much to talk about, but our summer day camp priority registration did open up, and it will stay open until this Sunday. Now, open registration will begin February 9th. The camp runs daily from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. With a total fee of $2,100. This year, the camp will be held from June 8th to August 14th. So my business card is back there, so you can always shoot me an email or you can call me. All right. Any questions?
Thank you, Kendall. I did not see Miss Ruth Ann here. Is there somebody else from Community Happens here? Go ahead, Jen. Are you also doing the pure and SDMC? Yeah, go ahead. Those are the next two agenda items. While she's getting her notes, I will note that we will take questions from the and comments from the crowd.
Hello. We lost power. Give me a second.
Yeah, maybe the shorted.
Trick. There we go. The receiver actually lost power. But I did a review of our bylaws in the break, and we are actually supposed to be running all of our meetings under Robert's Rule of Order, which means public comment and question are needed to be held for the hearing of the public portion of the meeting. So please be taking notes. We're not going to do that during the community partners because we want Officer Martin to be able to go back to her job and the fire department to be able to go and do their job and to respond to emergencies. But when it comes to the rest of the meeting, we have to operate in that way. That's according to our bylaws. So I will give the floor back to Ms. Fisher.
Hi everyone, I'm Jen Fisher. I'm the founder of a nonprofit, Imagine Cincinnati, but I'm fiscally sponsored by Community Happens Here. So there's a lot of overlap in the programming that we do together. I run the Friday morning play groups that happen every Friday, even on snow days, out of Community Happens Here. And Ruth Ann wanted me to let you all know that I brought with me tonight the winter schedule for Sidewalk Hospitality. And in particular, she wanted me to highlight that March 7th, that Saturday, that's labeled Lego Bonanza. We're going to have the American Toy Construction Museum that just opened up down on Montgomery further. They're going to be there to do things with the Legos with the kids and the families. So definitely come support them and check that out on March 7th. That's all I have for Community Happens Here. Other than, well, you can see on the sheet that they will be celebrating birthdays alongside the Pleasant Ridge Community Council this whole year, every second Saturday of the month. So come celebrate your birthday with the community. And then I am also on, should I keep going? Okay. I am also on the local school decision-making committee at Pleasant Ridge Montessori, our neighborhood public school. We're going to be talking more about PRM and kind of the exciting things that are happening, I think, later in this meeting, but I do want to just highlight another flyer that I brought with me tonight, which is for the Pleasant Ridge Montessori Information Night. I would really love all of your help to spread the word to neighbors who have kids, especially in the 0 to 5-year-old crowd. If anyone is wondering about preschool enrollment or kindergarten enrollment, or they're struggling to figure out how to do all that through the central district, Cincinnati Public Schools is a big district with a lot going on, always changing. But we are your local Title I neighborhood school that absolutely would love to welcome you into the community and help you figure out how to navigate that whole system. So if you have lots of questions about it, our partners over at Pleasant Ridge Presbyterian Church are working with our resource coordinator and our 3 to 6-year-old teachers. And we're gonna have an information night on February 12th. You can scan to let us know you're coming and let us know what questions you have, or just show up. And even if you have older kids who are transferring in, if you know anyone who's coming in or considering it as a 2nd to 6th grader, let them know they can join us that night as well. I think that's it for now. The next LSDMC meeting is this Wednesday, I think, and it'll be on, oh my gosh, is that tomorrow? Yes, so it'll be tomorrow, assuming we have school. And it is at 3 o'clock, and you can find it on Google Meet, which all that info, if you're interested in it, come talk to me. Those meetings are always open to the public and really helpful and informative to learn about what's going on with your public schools and our neighborhood school. Thanks.
Thank you, Jen. Principal Simpson did remark that on the Facebook group that the water main is fixed, so the school does have water. So unless CPS cancels school tomorrow, PRM should have school. All the parents say amen. Just kidding. All right. So if you have the agenda in front of you, it looks like we're going to jump straight into special items. and that'll work out well. The second special item is actually part of my executive report, so I'm going to go ahead and let PRM Playground Committee come and do their presentation. I know that we printed a certain amount. You guys can share if you want, but there was a QRA for people to check. Okay, that works.
Kind of spread them out too.
Hey everyone, my name is Andy Fries. I'm a parent of 3 Pleasant Ridge Montessori students, and I've been co-leading an initiative to re-envision our outdoor space at our school. Just a couple of quick facts that I've had the chance to learn as we've engaged in this process with community members, with parents, and with school leadership over the last 9 months. PRM serves more than 740 students, making it the largest Cincinnati Public School elementary school here in our district. We serve 7 surrounding neighborhoods, including PRM, and our school has been at capacity for many years, and as a result, we were able to add a new wing on in 2024. What we have not been able to do is to right-size our outdoor space to make room for the 200 plus additional students than the school was originally built for, or rebuilt back in 2008. So we've been working with our student council to get input from kids about what they want to see in the back of the school. And in some of the pictures that are kind of going around a little bit, you can see in the back of school we have a playground, and we also have a really big garden. Outdoor education is a really important component of Montessori, and something that we're really privileged to have. But we're also struggling for space. We have up to 150 kids at recess at a time, and probably less than 40% of our outdoor space is non-pavement. So we've been working to try to come up with some creative solutions about what that looks like. And through a committee that's been meeting bi-weekly over the last 9 months, we've come up with some really great ideas in partnership with the school, with community members, parents, students. And so for phase 1, we're working to move our garden more toward the front of school. And the garden is served as a community garden. There are community garden beds. Students go out and participate in the composting and the growing. And Imago Education is our outdoor partner we've been working with over the last several years. And so we're going to move the garden, as that is the thing that takes up the most space in the back of school that would give us some more space for kids to play. So we're going to move the garden over to the side of the school. And in the back of the school, we're going to try to build the first mini pitch at Cincinnati Public School. So I've been having conversations with FC Cincinnati, with parents and families, and we're excited about what's to come. But Allie, you want to talk a little bit about it?
Hi everyone, I'm Allie Ricker. I am a parent to a 5th grader at PRM. I also have a 10th grader at Clark who went kindergarten through 6th at PRM. So we are very integrated into the PRM community, and this is something that my kids have been really, really excited about and asking for years, as I know a lot of other students have as well. So as Andy mentioned, we are looking for this phase 1 to move the garden to the side of the school. We have an incredible parent volunteer, Julia Garcia with Jose Garcia Design, who is volunteering her time as our general contractor and designer for the space, for our new garden space. So you'll see on that piece of paper one image of the garden. We have a lot more on our website, prmrocks.org. So if you go to that homepage, you'll see a link to the outdoor page, and you'll see a lot more pictures and renderings there. But there's a lot of awesome features to this garden that the current garden has. So we have our garden beds, some picnic tables for students, but also community members, families to come enjoy a meal at the garden. A lot of gardening beds and vertical gardening happening. There's fossil dig, a place for a mud station, and a learning pavilion for kids to come out during school and learn in the garden. So a lot of exciting things. Come check out the space. Please, this is really designed for the whole community, not just PRM. So we're really excited for that to be constructed here in the next few months, and then hopefully be open by next school year. So once we move that garden, we'll have space for the mini pitch, as Andy mentioned. A mini pitch is a mini soccer field. That's a turf field. So we're exploring a partnership with FC Cincinnati be a turf field, it might be a multi-sport field, or an actual mini pitch. We'll just see how that goes with that partnership. So that is phase one, is to create this beautiful new garden on the side of our building for the whole community to use, and then that turf field in the back, again, for the whole community to use. So it'll be great for students at recess, but then also during gym class to go out there, and then families to be able to use on the weekend when the field outside at the rec center might be too muddy. This turf field will be great all year round. So really excited about that. And then the phase two will be the playground. So we'll definitely keep you all updated as that progresses, but we're really focused on this phase one for now. So ways that you all can help and get involved. First, if you have any connections to any businesses who might be a good partner for this, please let us know. We really want this to be a community space, and so any way we can involve the community, we would love to do that. If you have any special talents or expertise that you could lend, we need a lot of hands to make this happen. So if you have gardening expertise or construction or even just project planning, we would love all of the help. And then just help us spread the word. So really talk this up and get the whole community excited about this new space for our students and our children and all of our families.
Okay, Ron?
You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the time and sweat equity you guys have already put in. I will highly recommend you guys go look at the renderings that they put up on the website. I met with these two, I don't know, was it December? So it was almost 2 months ago now. They showed me the initial mock-ups, and it's very exciting looking. Thank you for respecting the conversation we have. This is something that they are fundraising for. I will mention that. Pleasant Ridge Community Council has already committed $1,000 in our budget towards this, and we're willing to have further conversations. But thank you guys again for all the time you put into this.
Thank you.
They have been advertising a fundraising event too, so check Facebook for that. The prom event, right?
Saturday.
When is it?
Saturday at 7.
Saturday at 7. We'll make sure that it's in the calendar. Check Facebook if you're on it. There's details there. It should be awesome. All right, so we are into executive committee reports.
With you.
It is me. I know, I'm part of the executive. Yeah, it's all good. It's part of what I'm introing. So after the New Year's, Josh came to me and let me know that he would be resigning from the VP position effective at the end of tonight's meeting. I'll let Josh share what he wishes too about that decision, but I do want to express my gratitude for being a great partner. You did a lot of heavy lifting in the work with PRDC and PRBA with the Yard & Co stuff, among other things. So I'm just grateful for having you as a partner. Our bylaws do require that as an exec board that we appoint a replacement within a month. Seeing as Josh gave us the news ahead of time, we were actually able to talk in our last, ahead of our last executive meeting about a potential replacement for Josh, and we came to an agreement that we thought Mike Cummings, who is the beautification chair, would be a good fit. Mike has made it very clear that he has no intentions on remaining VP or running for VP as it comes up, which I think is probably even more reason why it's a great thing that he's willing to take that on, because he'll say, hey, I'll fill Josh's role from now until the end of the month, until the end of the period, and then we'll have a new VP come on for a 2-year term. If you don't recall, I also was the VP for 10 months, and then I filled Andrew Bernier's presidential term. So I will let you know that both the VP and presidential roles are coming up for election this year, and Michelle will share more about that. But in the meantime, the way our bylaws are structured is that we assign someone, we appoint someone to the position that is vacant, and then we get a general yea or nay public vote, majority vote, to approve of that appointment. And so we do need to do that tonight. Either of you guys ready to count? Okay. So So we do need to take an official public vote now. If you're a Pleasant Ridge resident or business owner, you're gonna vote yay or nay. We'll do yay first for Mike Cummings filling the VP role from now until the vote in May. We'll begin with yay. Hands raised for yay. And hands raised for nay.
That was a much easier count.
All right. All right, thank you, everybody. That makes it official. And thank you, Mike, for being willing to do so. All right. Continuing on the conversation about bylaws, I already talked about Robert's Rule of Order, and then voting for officers. I discovered something that I think I glazed over early on in my time serving here, is that each year we're actually supposed to have a nominating committee that serves from February until the vote in May. Technically, they serve from February to April, and Michelle will explain a little bit more about that. Essentially, that committee is a temporary committee who recruits nominees and then presents nominees. So that those people don't determine whether people are viable or not. They don't say yes or no to people. Their job is literally to look for someone to fill the open roles, provide a list of people that have said yes, I'm willing. So that'll officially begin tonight, and then Michelle will give you a bit more detail about that when we get to her portion of the exec committee. And then in both the March meeting and the April meeting, nominees will be presented, and then we vote in May, which is another thing we slipped on last year. We voted it a month early in April. Not a big deal. We're just going to do it the right way according to our bylaws this year. Okay, I've only got a couple other things to hit on in my, actually a total of 3 things to hit on in my update before we move on. The first one is the neighborhood business district vision. I know there's a lot of questions and concerns about the yard and co work that we did last year. I want to remind everybody that what was presented in November that we continue to receive feedback on was a conceptual plan. It's a conceptual vision. It is not something that's locked. It's not something that's guaranteed going to happen. The images that you've seen drawn, there's no promise that any of that is ever going to happen. It was meant to be a guide for future development conversations. We've received a lot of great feedback. We hosted another event, feedback event in December, and in general, we've had a lot of really good feedback, a lot of positive feedback. People have broadly been happy about the fact that we're going to revitalize the business district. And a lot of things that we discussed in the meetings before anything was ever presented, we've continued to hear about. That's traffic concerns, pedestrian safety concerns, the height of buildings, and just generally, hey, when you got a bunch of people, what's going to happen to the sewers or the water? It's stuff that we've talked through with the city and with the designers, and a lot of this stuff we're taking very seriously. And I want you all to know that I'm still serving you in that way. If you have comments, feel free. We want to hear them. At this point in the process, it moves to site specific. We tried to make that clear in the last couple of meetings. From here, there's that generalized conceptual plan, and then when it gets to specific properties, more public engagement begins about height of buildings and the design of buildings and all of those things. But those come after those properties are under contract and there's a developer who's actually going to try to develop those properties. So that's where we stand on that, but we're taking parking and all of that stuff into very serious consideration. I want you to know that conversation has not ceased to happen. It is a living document, that vision. It's not something that is set in stone. Nothing is locked there. The city requires further public engagement, just like we will as a community council. The work we have done thus far has garnered us a lot of positive attention for the neighborhood in general. Cincinnati Enquirer writing up about Zicker may or may not have happened if they hadn't already been turned on to some of the things that are happening here. So there's a lot of positive, attractional things that are happening for Pleasant Ridge because of the work we've done, and we've been continued to be told by city officials the fact that we're willing to work together in partnership has continued to grant us favor downtown, and I think that's a great thing for our community. Another part of that, or a related piece of that, was Yard & Co. recommended that we create a TIF committee, which is a cross-organizational committee between the Business Association, the Development Corporation, and us, this Community Council. I was hoping to be able to have some semblance of a draft of government of that committee to be able to hand everybody. We actually haven't been able, with the snowstorm and businesses having to deal with running a business in the midst of a slow season, and all sorts of factors that led us not to be able to have a meeting yet. So nothing's locked there, nothing's official there. We don't have a particular governance plan. I've received some very good constructive feedback. I actually went and got some corporate coaching about how we could potentially do this the best for the community. And so as soon as we have more to offer, I'll offer it. We haven't had any further discussions. And that includes since our last executive meeting, for if there's a committee chairs that are in that meeting that have questions, nothing is different. And the last thing is we have heard back from the city on our pedestrian safety TIF allocation request. So for those of you that would need to be caught up, the Business Association, the Development Corporation, and us went to the city together and asked for one fund that included a certain amount of dollars for buying properties and a certain amount of dollars for pedestrian safety improvements. The city asked us to split those up. They were able to move, they move in different lanes. The one lane was able to continue to move. We are now hearing back about the pedestrian safety. DCED has reached out to us to let us know that PRCC will be leading the pedestrian safety piece of that. We did enter in partnership, so we will continue to discuss with PRDC and BA, but what we've heard from them is what the community wants to see happen, they're in support of. PRCC will be the lead on that. DCED, which is Department of Community and Economic Development, they kind of manage anything that happens to do with TIF funds. They have already been in conversations with the Department of Transportation, and the Department of Transportation would like to begin some community engagement. They may even come to our next public meeting for that. So somebody from the Department of Transportation would come to get feedback from the community about what they would like to happen if we were given $1 million towards pedestrian safety and traffic calming infrastructure. So be looking out for more news when it comes to that. Again, PRCC will be leading that. All signs still point to us being approved for that fund, which is great. It's just the potential that it could, as it works through the Department of Transportation timeline, it could slow us down a little bit, but it might actually help us fine tune what we're doing and make sure that we're not trying to, not getting in a position where we have rework. It's the last thing that we want to do is to put in something that they have to change with something else that happens down the road. So more to come on that. I know we have other DOT pedestrian safety updates coming. So that ends my report, and that makes it your turn. Oh yes, I was supposed to, because the role of president is open, as of Michelle's portion of the meeting, the nominations for president and vice president will be open. The presidential role, when you read the bylaws, is pretty simple. You represent the community in all forms. The way this is set up is the same as pretty much all the other governances in this area. Just like city council is, it's a representative democracy. So you vote somebody into position, and then their job is to go do what's best for you to the best of their ability. You lead these meetings, and you lead a meeting on the third Monday of every month, which is the executive board and the committee chairs are part of that meeting. That meeting is actually intended to be a preparation for this meeting. There's other things that get discussed there. So essentially, you lead this council and these meetings. Like I work with Michelle on the agenda for this meeting. I set the agenda for the other meeting. And in that, the president has specific things they can do. Like we did not have a zoning committee. I was able to name a zoning committee into existence with the committee chair, and they've done great work in taking care of an issue within our community. Also, we used to have what they called gateways, which were quadrants. Having come in and gotten a lot of feedback, I was able to make the decision that that wasn't doing us any good. So as a president, I'm able to, with council, say, okay, that's not serving us, we don't need to continue doing that. So that's the job of the president. You could read the bylaws further, but those are the general responsibilities of the president. And then you work with the committee. It's like my job has always been to empower Pleasant Streets and to empower events and parks and to empower the other committees to do the work of those committees. So that's a general gist. We have meetings 10 out of the 12 months a year. Public meetings do not happen in January or July, and therefore the executive meeting does not happen the 2 weeks ahead of that meeting. So you're committing to 20 meetings a year plus engagement with the city and with the committee leaders, and then obviously with volunteers and community members that want your time. So that's what the role looks like.
And that's why we're very thankful for you.
Yes.
That is a lot. Hey everyone, Josh Willman. As I start every meeting, it's an honor and privilege to serve you all. As Jeff shared, this is my last meeting, so very simple math equation. I need some time back. So I have a couple of jobs, 4 kids, 6 years old and under. I think I'm still a little bit wet from bath time. It was kind of like a quick baptism for all 4 of them right before I came to the meeting. So just as my wife and I processed the year and my term ends in May, we just said, hey, it might be the right time, and you've got a dream team up here. I need some time back. So it's been awesome to serve you all. The role, I think, as I was supposed to describe, in the bylaws, it's very short and sweet. You do what the president tells you to do. So I came in and Jeff handed me some rope on like our strategy, so partnered with him on strategy, development, city council engagements, and pedestrian safety. And then I also helped to oversee some marketing items and our marketing intern from this past summer. So it was really fun to meet city council leaders and be a part of this group. I did not have many other updates. Going back to what Jeff shared on the $95,000 of private organizations or individuals that said, hey, what the community council and the people that sit in this room are doing on a monthly basis, yearly basis, we want to invest in that. So this was not a program that was applied for. I won't share many other details. I'll let the other folks have fun with that. But this was folks from outside the neighborhood looking and saying, what the folks in this room are doing is really powerful and we want to invest our money. So I think you're in awesome hands. I'm not going away, staying in the neighborhood, plan to be here for a long time. But just wanted to end by saying thank you so much. This is a powerful room and I love being your neighbor.
Thanks, Josh. It's been fun serving with you this last year. And my nephew goes to school with his kids, which is kind of fun. But anyway, so according to the bylaws, the secretary kind of facilitates the elections of new officers, which doesn't make sense when the secretary's position comes up every other year, but whatever. So the big thing that we haven't done quite properly is that we are supposed to have a nominating committee. And the nominating committee includes 3 members of the exec, that are not volunteering for another term, and 2 members of the public at large. So the nominating committee is myself and Jesse and Mike, since he does not want to continue unless we can twist his arm. He says no, okay. And then our members of the public are Jen Fisher and Lauren, how do I say your last name, Farquhar? Farquhar, okay. So, they both have been around for a long time and kind of know how the roles operate, so that will be a big asset. So, if you are interested in potentially learning more about either of the roles, please come talk to us. We're happy to answer questions, and otherwise we'll be like pounding on someone's door to say please volunteer, because we don't want to do more. So yeah, we'll do that. The nominating committee officially starts today. By the next meeting, we are supposed to have a slate of the two candidates. And then we will, from there, we will take also volunteers. Please volunteer. Otherwise, we'll have to find you. And then volunteers can step forward until the April meeting, and then at the April meeting, it closes, I guess. And then we will vote officially in the May meeting, which is the first Tuesday in May. So that's how it goes. The term is for 2 years, and then in the off year, secretary and treasurer get re-upped. So that is kind of the explanation. While we're here, are there any questions? Okay. Then that is all I have to say. You can read more about the bylaws. A link to the bylaws is in the agenda if you really want to get nerdy with us. So, and read those. All right, to you, Jessie.
Thanks, Michelle. Hi, everyone. My name's Jessie Frank, and I'm the PRCC treasurer. A couple updates. It is the new year, so we're closing out 2025, looking forward into 2026. Last couple things from last year. If you were here at our December meeting, we were just about to have our Luminaria event as our last fundraiser of each year in December. So we finished that with 200 kits sold and raising about $3,200 for the community going into this year to support all the initiatives that we do around the community. So thank you for anybody who came and was involved in that, bought the kits, and hopefully you were able to attend the Light Up the Ridge gazebo lighting that Jackie led for us, which was wonderful. A new event for last year for Luminaria, so we're excited to keep it going this year. But ended that, yes, $3,200 for the community. And another thank you to Jeff Cerrone and his neighbors and his family on Langdon Farm who ran that, the Luminaria fundraiser for us. So thank you to them again for their third year doing that. Right. Last thing then for 2025 is of course the annual tax filings, the compliance portion we have to do. We have 2 filings, one through the IRS, the 990N, and then an annual charitable registration through the Ohio Attorney General. I finished both of those. Everything was passed and accepted. Of course, there's a $50 filing fee, but we got that paid. So we are all set compliance-wise for 2025. All of our filing requirements are completed. So yay, with that done, looking into 2026, I wanted to start talking about the grant process and a couple of grants that we have coming up that we're going to apply for to bring external money into Pleasant Ridge. I do want to clarify, with the $1 million we're talking about coming in places with these $75,000 grants, that doesn't come through me as a treasurer. That is managed by the city, and they work through those funds with us. So I'm not processing $1 million. We work on a much smaller budget. The biggest thing I'm typically working with is grants, about $10,000 max. So with that, there are 2 grants we know of right now that we want to go for 2026 to bring new funds into our community. The first is NSP, Neighborhood Support Program. If you've been to any meeting in the past 4 years, you've heard me say that 1,000 times. But it is the largest grant that we go for each year. Pleasant Ridge Community Council has gone for it for many, many years now and brought those funds in. For 2026, we're looking at $9,666 total in grant funds that we can apply for to reimburse for program expenses occurring within the community. That is slightly lower than last year. It was $10,000 last year, but I'm happy that they're still keeping it up because it was $7,000 a couple years ago. So still happy that we're still around that $10,000 mark. With that, as a reminder for things that we've applied for in the past years, beautification expenses, weeding on the sidewalks, flowers for all our flower pots, those are the types of program expenses we're putting towards NSP, as well as infrastructure items for Ridge Day, our community event, and then the lease for our storage unit that we have to store all of our supplies. We've had great success with those, submitting those projects each year. If you look within the agenda, you'll see there's a couple links to these grants I'm going to talk about. Gives you all the details around the timelines. Of course, when it's a grant through the city, there's always strict paperwork to be filed, timelines to be followed, very specific things you can apply for. So we have the beautification, Ridge Day, and storage unit we've had a lot of success for, so we would plan to apply for that moving forward. And then the second is a new grant for this year, brand new money that we've never applied for, that we now have the opportunity. It's called NBDSF, Neighborhood Business District Support Fund. It's $3,450. It's a new grant, and it's very similar to the NSP, but the piece of it is it has to occur within the business district. That's kind of the strict part. It can't be outside of it. So you're thinking from PRM to library, right on Montgomery, effectively right there. If you were here back in December, you knew that one of our initiatives for this year was expanding our beautification program, looking into more street weedings, more cleanup on our sidewalks. We're a very walkable community. We want it to look beautiful. So our plan this year is to double the amount of sidewalk work we're doing from 3 services to 6 this year. And a piece of how we can do that is we're gonna go be applying for this grant to cover those additional services that we're looking for. So it's a big chunk of money that we have now coming in this year. So these grants, like I said, there are links within the agenda so you can take a peek at those timelines and get a sense of it. It is pretty specific on what kind of projects you can put forward, but we want everybody's ideas too on what projects you want to see within Pleasant Ridge. So even if you look through these grants and you go, wow, okay, any idea I have doesn't fall these timelines or in the category, don't let that stop you from bringing ideas up. Please let us know anytime you have project ideas. We want to work with you. If you want to see something happen in the community, we want to help support that. So this is a great time starting the new year to start thinking about those kinds of projects. So that's where we're at in terms of grants. Take a look at that information. If you have any questions on the grants, email me through the agenda. My email is there. And then next meeting is when we'll put it towards official public vote, just like we did for any of the other votes that we do, hand raising to push forward so we can officially apply for this money. I then go into a presentation and hopefully get it from the city, but we've been able to do it for many years now, so I'm very confident in our ability to get this money. That is the last piece for me.
You're awesome, Jesse. All right, we have breezed straight through that. We're going to jump into our committee chairs. Obviously, they're all going to come and talk into the microphone. I do want to ask that when we get to the point for a public comment question, we do the same because of the recording is the main reason. I know that not everybody likes to speak into the microphone. We want people who are watching, whether tonight or at another time, be able to hear the questions or comments being made, not just the responses. So, Miss Kelly Jones, do you have anything today?
Nothing for me.
I will share one thing. If you like social media or email marketing or anything communication oriented, please talk to Kelly afterwards. We would love for you to join her team. She's been awesome. Last year, I think from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, our comms went probably 10x. So thank you so much for your work. Next is Events Committee from Miss Jackie Martin. Walk-up music.
Hi.
Gotcha.
Hello, I'm Jackie Martin, Events Committee Chairperson. I see it as part of my job to hype things that I didn't create in addition to things that I am working on. So I just want to hype the PRM prom this Saturday. It's 7 to 10 at the PRM gym. You have to wear tennis shoes with your prom attire so that we don't hurt the gym floor. There's going to be music. There's going to be alcoholic drinks. I think it sounds really fun, and it's going to help raise money for that awesome outdoor development that's going on. It's going to be so cool. February 14th, we are having our second in our series of Happy Birthday Pleasant Ridge. So if you have a birthday in February, come to Sidewalk Hospitality at Community Happens Here between 11 and 1. You will get attention, but not too much if you don't like it. You'll get a treat. Hello Honey gave us gift certificates for the birthday people for last time. I don't know what you might get if you come for your February birthday. You just have to come and see.
And you might find a birthday twin.
You might find a birthday twin. That's the one who has the same birthday as you. And how fun is that?
Nothing funner.
One more thing. Well, first I want to say tomorrow night I'm hosting an events committee meeting. It's at 9 Giant at 6:30, and every everyone is welcome. So if you think it's fun to plan events like I do, come have a beer with us. Okay, the last thing that I want to hype is February 28th. We're having a fundraiser in cooperation with the Fermentorium 9 Giant folks, and it's to support the Caring Place. And the Caring Place is our neighborhood food bank. It is at the Pleasant Ridge Presbyterian Church, which is like rent space there. It's not part of the church. And it serves our community, and it's wonderful, and people are facing food insecurity, and we're gonna help them by having a lot of fun on February 28th at the Fermentorium. It's called Right Party, Wrong Theme. So this is where you'll intentionally dress for the wrong event. So everyone is gonna look silly, and that's the point. Some ideas on what you could wear. You could dress for the 70s. You could dress in bridal wear. You could dress for Christmas, Renaissance Fair, or the Met Gala. Everybody is doing it right by doing it wrong. Okay, that's all I have for today.
Where can we buy tickets?
Oh, okay. For the prom, buy your tickets at PRM Rocks.
And it's an adult prom.
No
Yeah,
kids.
let me be perfectly clear. There it's only for grown-ups, sorry. Then the Right Party Wrong Theme you can get at the Pleasant Ridge Community Council website, which is pleasantridge.org. Right?
Nailed it.
Yay.
Plant
Plant swap. Plant
Oh
swap.
my God, I'm so sorry. The plant swap. We're having so much fun. Sunday, 1 to 3 at All Saints Episcopal Church. We're having a plant swap. So bring your house plants, bring seeds, bring
Pots?
a pot that
Shovels?
you like, little shovel, anything like plant related that you would like to swap, and have a new plant friend for the Super Bowl.
And you don't have to negotiate swaps. I've been asked this. Like, you don't have to get bartered.
Oh.
Like, you put your plans on the table and someone can walk through the table and pick it out. So don't be intimidated by like bartering.
That's awesome. It's a great chance to meet some of your neighbors and community mates. So it's a great opportunity. Ridge Day, are you presenting tonight? We're moving right along. Youth Co. Nope. And so safety does not have anything to present tonight. Pleasant Streets.
Drum roll, please.
Barb's the hero. Everybody give a round of applause for Barb.
Talk about the streets with a big smile on my face, but I do tonight. Other than our sidewalks, which suck right now. So I think everybody knows that the Ridge Road repaving project is going to happen. It's going to start sometime this year. It's a very lengthy project because it covers not only our part of Ridge and Pleasant Ridge, but also the part on the other side of Columbia Township. So it may actually go through fall, winter of 2027. It's going to take a while. We were able to get some traffic calming measures. It's not just going to be repaving. We didn't get as much as we would like, but we've gotten a fair bit. I'm not going to go into great detail because I've written a piece that includes some pictures, and I think it's just easier to understand when you can look at the picture and read the description. But I'm going to highlight some specifics. We are going to we're going to improve the ski jump over the railroad tracks. That's one of the things that they're doing. They're going to improve the lane signage through there. There will be a middle turn lane. So this is kind of a road diet, just like with Montgomery Road a few years ago. There will be a center turn lane, the length of Ridge on both sides of Montgomery. Parking will only be on the north side of Montgomery though, because in order to put that middle turn lane in, it's just going to be a single lane of traffic on either side. There's some major changes happening at the Woodford intersection. I'm not going to go into all of them, but everybody I think will be really happy to find out there will be 2 left turns signals, turn lanes. I don't know if there'll be a turn signal on Woodford. So if you're turning left from Woodford onto Ridge, you will have now a left turn lane. The right lane, which is right now continuous right turn, is going to be straight. So it will finally align with the road on the other side, which everybody has complained about. There's going to be some major changes. We don't know what they are yet. This is still to be worked out at the Montgomery and Ridge intersection. So some realignment, you know, making it a little bit clearer which way to go. We are adding 2 crosswalks. There's gonna be one at Bellwood. For years, people have asked for a crosswalk on Ridge by the community center. We're gonna have a crosswalk. We're also adding one on the other side of Ridge, approximately between St. Peter's and Woodsfield, right around in that area. So those are kind of the highlights. Again, there's gonna be an article coming that will explain all of this very clearly. There will be diagrams and pictures so you can really get a picture of what it's gonna look like. The second part, and I'm really excited about this. The Good Foundation is donating $75,000 to us for traffic calming efforts. We have gone through our community wish list, and these are all things that you guys have weighed in on for years. And we picked 3 things that we think will be the biggest, the biggest hit that we can get for that money. I'm not going to announce what they are right now because we have to get them approved first by the Good, then they have to be approved by DOTE. The only restriction is that the work has to be completed by the end of 2028. We don't think that's going to be a problem. And if the ideas we came up with get shot down, we actually have a backup option that we know will get approved. So it's happening. We're getting some good stuff happening.
Thank you, the Pleasant Streets team. Good things are happening. It's pretty cool stuff. One of the things that I will add to what she said is with the Bellwood crosswalk, there will be speed cushions. So for those of you who don't like speed cushions, I kind of apologize. I don't really apologize. You shouldn't be going over 30 miles an hour there anyway. But that will also improve safety of that crosswalk. So those of you that are concerned about your children or yourself crossing Ridge Road at any point, you're actually going to have a natural slowing of vehicles around that crosswalk. So that's the only additional thing that I was going to add to that. We do not have any updates from zoning outside of the landscape company that was off ACOM has moved along. They're looking for a new customer to come in and be a tenant there. But that zoning committee is continuing to talk with the city about potentially rezoning the property in order to make sure that the kind of problematic stuff that was happening with that other company does not happen again. All right. And next we have formerly Parks Committee, now Conservation Committee. It's already on the agenda. Sorry about that.
We didn't hear it. Don't
Nobody heard that.
Did you come up with a bunch of C's? Please tell me.
I did not. I was off my game this week. Okay, so since this committee started 2 years ago, the Parks Committee, I think it's 2 years, 2.5. Parks says 2 years. Okay. So like we've been focused, we did the St. Peter's Pocket Park, like the native plant there. We did the work at Kenyon Heights Park with our community nature advocates, clearing invasive species and planting new species, native stuff there, right? And then we've been, like, we help out our friends over there at French Park with their group. So, and I know, like, Jen Fisher does stuff at Community Habits here, and then you guys are doing stuff at PRM, like, probably thinking about the word we're not going to mention yet, conservation. But, so, like, we've been doing, like, this little bit here, this little bit here, this little bit here, right? And we've been doing really well at all these individual places, right? So now we're like, well, do we want to keep focusing? And all our yards, right? Our individual yards, we're doing a lot, like in our yards, right? So then now we're thinking, what can we do as like a community, right? So there's groups from pretty much every level of government, from city all the way up to federal and international, that are looking at conservation, but nobody in our community is focused on our community, right? So it's like, it's up to us if we want to think about conservation as a community within our borders, like it's up to us to do this, right? So we are renaming parks to conservation to more closely align with what we're trying to do, right? So Hillary here is helping me. Reggie's back there, she's helping out. But we want to talk to you all about any ideas you have, like I'm happy to talk to you guys about PRM. Whenever I talk to Jennifer all the time. So what can we all do as a community if we look within our community? Like, we have some ideas, but we really want to do this conversation in person, right? I'm never online, I'm perpetually offline, right? So, like I only do face-to-face, right? So we've had a lot of events scheduled this year, but we've pretty much had to cancel all of them because of weather, or I have jury duty coming up. So we might have to cancel them again if I'm sitting on jury. So actually our second event of the year is gonna be March 8th. Is that right? Second Sunday. No, this is Sunday.
Yeah, I think that's
So
right.
March 8th, okay, yeah. So our first event, March 8th, we're doing a community-wide kickoff for service to the community, where we're gonna be picking up all the litter in Kenny Heights Park. It's a great time of year to do it. Before all the lovely plants we want sprout up, right? We can get in there and get all the litter out of there. And but right, that starts at 2 o'clock. But at 1:30, if anybody wants to come out and talk to us about the conservation in the community, we're gonna be there starting at 1:30, Kenny Heights Park. Like, come talk to us and help us figure out if this is something we can do as a community. Like, we have a lot of ideas that we can hopefully act on outside of individual sites, where we can make this part of everyday, like our everyday kind of thing, and help improve the whole community as individuals for everybody else in the community. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So it sounds fun. I mean, I think it's a good plan.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna see if we can make this happen, but we need your help, like, to make it happen. So just come talk to us, and we can figure out what to do. And there's gonna be a lot more in the next email about this and like how to and if you want to talk to me before March 8th, you can just talk to me after the meeting. I'll give you the email and everything. So that's it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh yeah. Oh well, Jackie did mention at the beginning of this meeting. She said we should do an Earth Day event together. So we might have a big event coming up in April with me and Jackie together doing something fun. So there we go.
Nice.
That's it.
That March date will likely be our first real community volunteer opportunity. So whether you're interested in conservation or not, just coming out, joining your neighbors to get rid of the trash in the park could be a really cool thing. When people you like to be around or somebody that you can meet, it kind of makes anything fun. I mean, we did a BK cleanup a year and a half ago at the BK Burger King lot, in case you don't know what BK means, kids. It was just a dirty lot, and we all got together and we did a few hours of hard work, and we enjoyed the heck out of ourselves. So we got that, and then a couple other things that will come up. People working cooperatively. We did a duck restoration in the spring or summer, and then we did leaf cleanup in the fall. That'll be happening again this year. There's all the other community volunteer opportunities that we have. So yeah, I plan to be there. That's good. Mike, with beautification.
I've never had to lift the microphone before. How do I? Can I make this go?
Little.
Okay. I apologize, everyone. I'm going to have some notes because I want to make sure I do this properly. Before I get too officially started, first, just again, thank you for the votes for VP. Appreciate the vote of confidence. I look forward to serving the community for the 3 months of my term as I finish off for Josh. And also, thank you to Josh for the wonderful work you did do while you were the VP. I know it was a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I get to see that, and I appreciate all your effort you put into your role. Okay, so I have two things I want to handle tonight. I am lucky enough to be one of the people that gets to announce one of our donations that was made to the community, and then also I'll talk about some just general beautification business at the end of my comments. So, gonna build a little suspense for you with some backstory here. So, I came to my first community council meeting not too long after I moved here in 2018, and just long story short, in the meeting, someone stood up who I later would find out was the role that I am now in, beautification chair, asking for people to come and help move big juniper trees at an event, I think later that week. And I showed up to do that day, and when I showed up, I met two guys there, Ron Halk and David Nebel. If you do not know them, they are a couple that live in this neighborhood. They've lived here a long time. I don't know exactly how long, but they are major champions of this community, and they're who I'm going to be talking about here. But that day when I showed up, I met Ron and David, and they were friendly, they were high energy, they were hardworking, and they really inspired me to want to do this job, to volunteer in the community. And their energy doing that was something that was just I lived downtown before this and didn't really know about that, and I just was so inspired by them. And so now, as beautification chair, I can tell you that our biggest undertaking beautification, you may know, is our flower pots around town, right? We have, like, I think it's 52 or 53 of them, I want to say, that we change out the flowers through a couple times a year. We replace the juniper trees. It is a giant undertaking. I don't want to be dismissive of the individual volunteers, some of which I know are in this room, that water the given pots that you're assigned. It's incredibly important. Your individual pot would not survive without you, and we are so thankful for you. That said, the entire project would not exist without the effort of Ron and David, who handled that project. They are in charge of recruiting and organizing the volunteers. They have they get our plants for the community at cost because of some business connections that Ron has, and they of course volunteer their own time and effort. I think Jesse, you once maybe told me this, that if the city's in charge of managing one of those like similar flower pots, did you tell me it was $400 a season or a year or something like that?
At that time, it was like $350 a pot.
For a year, or
Just the summer
just
season.
the summer season. Okay.
Just the summer.
So you'll humor me with some math I did on this, where I used 400 instead. But if we had 52 pots and it would be $400 even just for a year to care for those pots, that's about $20,000 worth of effort that Ron and David are largely organizing for this community. It's just incredible the effort they put in. And speaking of that $20,000 amount, that's the amount that Ron and David have generously agreed to donate from their own funds to this community. They've made a private donation of $20,000 to us for beautification. Incredibly generous. I want to be clear that it has somewhat of a specific purpose. It is towards the bolstering of our holiday decorations. I think there's a little nuance here, but I think largely it's going to be two things. We want to get, with some instruction from them, we want to try and look into getting, like, I'm sure you've seen in other communities, but like picture like on the top of a light pole in the business district, like kind of more like a big or like lit up like snowflake or something like 3 or 4 feet tall on the poles. And we're going to try and line the business district with those. As part of that, we will also have electricity installed in those poles we can access to add more of our own lights, like wrapping the poles, things like that. So I think it's going to be a big upgrade to that guard. We will also, I think, I'm pretty sure that I was told that our Christmas tree we had in the little tower was damaged in some capacity not long ago. We will also replace that tree with some of these funds. And then also, this is funny to me, they also want to make sure some of the funds went towards buying paint for the project of wanting to repaint the tower, on the corner up here, just to make it look nice and sprucing up. But Ron and David were insistent that they be the ones to be allowed to paint it because they wanted to volunteer that instead of having us pay someone else to do that for the community. That's the kind of guys that they are. So just on behalf of me personally, Ron and David, if you're watching, thank you so much for all you do and for inspiring me to get involved in Pleasant Ridge, but also on behalf of the community at large, beautification, thank you for this generous donation. Incredible. Very exciting. We're just honored. And then less exciting, I'm excited about it. The beautification kind of nuanced, the smaller things for me here today. We haven't met since then, but I just want to say we had our ornament making event back in December. Thanks to anyone who attended. It was successful. I think we had upwards, at least over 100-something ornaments were made. People seem to like it. Community Happens Here was a great partner for that. We'll do that again probably next year with them, something very similar. Also for beautification, we will hold our second meeting of our kind of ad hoc beautification committee here sometime in the next month or so. I'm going to pick a date for that. We'll get it on the books. The kind of goal for the spring, aside from our flower pots, is going to be street cleanups. I have a friend and another resident, a buddy of mine, who's going to kind of be our czar of that. We're going to try and work on some kind of system where we assign like blocks. I think we're going to try and focus on some of the public parking lots, the areas of downtown, business fronts that are abandoned, where we have organized cleanups of those. In addition to, I think Jess, you mentioned the more regular, we're going to pay for like the weeding and stuff. We want that area looking good for everyone and appealing to ourselves and for development. So if you're interested in any of that, any other beautification ideas you have, please reach out to me. Keep an eye out. I'll let Kelly know to put something in the news for our next meeting date. And that's it. Thank you again, Ron and David. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Awesome. That's great news to end the committee chairs portion with. All right, so now we have time for the hearing of the public. If it's a statement being made, there is a 2-minute limit. If there's a question, obviously, questions a little bit back and forth, clarity, all that stuff has the potential to take a little bit longer. So if you're here to make a statement, I will be using a timer. That's all part of the bylaws. Just trying to be legit in what we do. We are asking that people come to the mic for those statements or those questions so that people online can hear clearly. If you'd like to come up, feel free. Carl. You're a wealth of knowledge every time you come, so I'm happy that you're here. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, especially our younger members of the community. We hope to see you back here again. My name's Carl Beckman. I have some updates on things. Tomorrow is the deadline for submitting an application for the 311 seminars, which are going to be held in March. Go to 311cincy.com. Has anyone submitted an application online to attend the seminars? Well, you're missing out. I'd like to see Pleasant Ridge represented there. There are 4 seminars regarding city operations to be held on Wednesday evenings in March from 6 to 8 p.m. I can help you with the essay question after the meeting. It's a very educational experience, and you get to go into a number of old, buildings here in Cincinnati. During the last meeting, you get to meet the mayor, you get to meet the city manager, and you get to meet the head of the 911 system. Plus, there's light foods involved. Now, the city implemented a new 311 system several months ago. I missed the email invitation inviting me to a meeting pertaining to the new system. It was buried in my inbox. The software works, but it is more difficult to report problems such as potholes. You have to go to page, scroll, scroll, scroll. Pothole season is coming up here. I kind of apologize for that. We've had a number of water main breaks in the city. I've never seen anything like this before. I think we have 4 or 5 in Pleasant Ridge. There is someone answering the phone there at Waterworks after hours. The telephone number is 513-591-7700. If you have an account with the Waterworks, I would encourage you to sign up for outage alerts at www.mygcww.org. They can text, email, voicemail you, and they can do all 3. And you don't want to hop in the shower and not have any water available. Many thanks to the Waterworks for fixing the break at Montgomery Road and Lester. I know they've been working on it. The leak down at Lester and Highland is still leaking. I reported that a year ago. There is no completion date on that. The last time I checked the computer, which was Sunday, there was no completion date for the break on Parkview. I think they were going to work on Parkview, but then with the major break up at Montgomery and Lester, they had to go up there. I sincerely believe that Douglas Terrace needs to be opened up so that when we have a river coming down Lester Road, the residents of Marmion, Dorger, and Douglas Terrace can exit the neighborhood. The street lights are up on the poles, are burning out. Let's get them reported. Snow removal was better this year. Residents on Marmion, though, were stranded for a couple of days, and the roads do need to be open for emergency vehicles. I guess I'm at my 2-minute limit. Okay, thanks for the open mic.
You're good, Carl. Thank you for that information. The 311 Cincy, it basically teaches you how to best use the 311 app and to be advocating with the city for your community when it comes to public services. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, you got the time to volunteer to be a part of that. It sounds really cool. I'd like to be able to do it. I'm kind of where Josh is. Can't be throwing my time anywhere else. Anybody else with question or comment? Come on up.
I just thought of 2 more things that I wanted to share about ways that you can connect with Pleasant Ridge Montessori. One is that we have spring sports open right now through the end of the month, and I particularly wanted to share that they're available for the young kiddos. So there's soccer for 3 to 5-year-olds, and I believe we're opening t-ball to 4-year-olds this year. And that means that even if you don't go to PRM, but you live in our area and you want to sign up, go ahead and sign up. If we have open spaces, you're welcome to be a part of it. And I'm here to say sign up for baseball because we always need more kids. You can find out more at prmrocks.org/athletics to sign up. The other thing that I wanted to mention that I was thinking about today, especially if you're a business owner or just a homeowner, we always do spring sales for flowers through PRM, and then we also have found vendors that are doing great sales for moms, and we had a really great winter sale this year too for Christmas gifts and greenery and all that. This year the spring sale pickup will be April 18th. We'll send out information about it a month before and try to post it more in the community groups, but between getting your mulch from Nativity and your spring flowers from us, it's a great way to support our local schools. So that's it.
Thank you. ahead.
Me again, Jackie Martin. I would like to advocate for openness and lots of voices being heard and what to do with the development of our business district. And I know that there's a plan and it's kind of like it's going to be site specific, it sounds like. So there will be an idea and we'll get to have our input then. But I'm not a big fan of the strategic vision as it is. I understand it's a working document. But what I would like to see is something different with our TIF money, with our neighborhood. I would like to spend that money on different things. So here's some ideas I have. The warehouse where the glass company is now, wouldn't it be cool if that was something like the hub where you can take recyclables? Wouldn't it be cool if we used that space to have a tool library where you could take a tool out and like a snow blower or multiple snow blowers, and we could get our sidewalks cleaned when it snows, or you could borrow a rake, or you could borrow tools, gloves, anything you need. Another idea that I love is to not build a big building on the beautiful new corner that we have on Ridge and Montgomery, and instead we put public art there, like if we got artworks to do a beautiful mural. What if we had a beautiful fountain like they have in so many other neighborhoods, green areas? Like, what about that corner in Clifton on Ludlow with the lady with her hands with water coming out? Why don't we have some public art in Pleasant Ridge? So, that's all.
Thank you. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? We got one other thing we need to do.
I always forget. Can we get a motion to approve last month's minutes?
Yes.
Thank you. I need one more hand, please. Okay, Jackie. She didn't raise her hand, I just picked her.
All right, and with that, our meeting will be adjourned with a notion and a second. Notion. Second.